Hi there, I am Nikkola of Nikkola, and this is the Tuesday Tune-In. So this is an opportunity to tune in with your own inner wisdom. There are so many beautiful ways to do this, and I want to share with you some tips and tricks that have worked for me, some stories, some insights, really to lead you back to your own wisdom. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all already in you, and this is just an opportunity to ask yourself some questions and perhaps get a little bit closer to that wisdom. So today's topic is alignment and friendships. And I think sometimes this can be a bit of a tricky topic because there is a heavy sense of obligation when it comes to our relationships, or there can be. And the reason I really feel called to talk about this today is because of the alignment that I'm feeling at the moment and the beautiful people that I've been able to have in my life that have allowed me to stay in alignment. So I want to share with you what's on offer, and also how to balance the camera so that it doesn't fall over in the breeze. Because I know this can be really tough, and I want to share with you what's possible when we make some of these tricky decisions. So I guess for starters, it's important to talk about what is alignment. And there are a bunch of different ways to conceptualize this, and one of them is about being in integrity with yourself. And I believe our bodies are a very, very good tell as to whether we feel in integrity or not. So when you get asked to do something, you have an offer or an opportunity, and you know your gut reaction to that question or offer. That's our body telling us. That's our body's wisdom sharing with us what is right. What's right for us, not for anybody else, what's right for us in that moment. And so that's why it's so frequent that people say gut instinct, follow your gut. You know, because there's actually a beautiful wisdom that is inside our bodies, and it's not, coming from the brain, which is so loaded up with the expectation. Our gut instinct, that feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach or anywhere in your body, is one way of knowing whether that's something you want to do or not. So when we talk about being in integrity, that's what I mean, in integrity with ourselves. And a really simple way of thinking about what it means to be in alignment is what feels good. For some reason, we seem to have dismissed this as a guide for what we choose to do, which seems crazy, because why else are we here on the planet than to feel good? So when it comes to your friendships, let's try this again so I can use my hands. When it comes to your friendships, do they make you feel good? If you think about the time that you spend with the people, like the small circle, or perhaps the people that you see most often, when you think about hanging out with them, and then maybe in the moments immediately after or in the hours following, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Do you feel neutral? What is it that is conjured for you when you're around these people? Because we get to choose how we want to feel. We get to choose the energy that comes into our sphere, our circle, the way that we choose to live our life. We get to decide that. So if you have people in your life that when you spend time with them, it makes you feel low, flat, you start to doubt yourself, you start to doubt the way that you're living your life or your choices, perhaps it's worth considering whether that's something you really want or not, because we definitely do get to choose. And in a moment I'll go on to talk about how to make those choices and how we navigate them. What's on offer is being in complete alignment with what feels good for you. Imagine if your life every single day was only what was in alignment for you. And I'm going to share with you what's coming up in my mind right now, because I know that it's happening for other people too. Well, why do I get to deserve that? Why do I deserve to always be in alignment and feel good all the time? There's this like pervasive story in our society that, well, you don't always get to feel good. You know, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. Do you? I'm scared even as I say that, because it's such a big question. It feels like challenging, you know, the existence of our society, the way that it runs. But why do you have to do things that make you feel shitty? Why do you have to put up with that? Peter Kelly recently released a book called Earth is Hiring, and she talks about how our generation has a divine intolerance. And what that means is that we're not willing to put up with crap that doesn't feel in alignment with our soul. How amazing! What an incredible concept. Everything is possible when we're in this place of alignment. Everything. Everything falls into place because we're operating from our highest self. And you know, if that's too far away, that concept, it's like your best self. The best version of me is where I'm operating from. And when you're there and the people around you are in their best self, it's freaking magic. Like there's such an incredible like vibration, like a fire or a wind between you when you're all in that place, and what you can give to the world. Oh my goodness. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about alignment. It's where all the joy and magic is. So let's talk about friendships or relationships even. You know, friendships is an entry point to talk about the people that we have in our lives, but maybe this is, you know, workplace relationships as well, or, you know, your beloved, your significant other. What are they doing with your energy field? How does it feel when you're with them? And should you decide that it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel in alignment, I don't want to go to those places, I don't want to do those things anymore, I didn't make a specific choice that I really liked footy, or that I really liked going out clubbing on Fridays, you know, that was something that I went along with, I followed because that's kind of what everybody else is doing. But you know what, to me it doesn't actually feel that good. What do you do then? What's available next? I really encourage you to get honest. And this is incredibly challenging if that level of honesty is new in your life. And you might surprise some people. But what's the alternative? The alternative is living out of alignment with yourself. So, okay, let's say you get invited to a function. It's on the other side of the country. And you've known this friend since you were in primary school together. Okay, so maybe it's a wedding, or it's a 30th birthday or a 40th birthday or something like that. And you feel really obliged to go to that event because, just literally because you've known each other for a very long time. And you've decided that being in that space is not going to make you feel good. That's not an alignment for you. That's not going to bring out the best of you. And it's probably not going to bring out the best in them either, or that space. What do? There's a couple of options available. So you can, and I would say it's a scale of how vulnerable you're willing to be. Because let's say this isn't someone you see very often, and you decide to say, no, not coming to the wedding, not coming to the big birthday celebration, whatever it is. What's going to happen? Like, what's the worst that could happen? That person might be disappointed. They also get to choose how they feel about that. They don't, if we don't take anything personally, then they shouldn't get to take anything personally either. You've got the opportunity to say, I'm just not really feeling like this is a good choice for me. And don't be so responsible for their feelings. And I'm so guilty of this. It's something that I work on constantly. Empower them. Empower them to go on their own journey with that response. That's completely up to them. So you've got that option to say, it doesn't feel good to me. You've got the option to say, actually, I've got a whole bunch of other things going on, or I'm not really willing to invest the money right now. You know, there's like I said, there's a range of options you can use in how honest you want to be. But number one, be incredibly honest with yourself about whether it feels good or whether it doesn't feel good. Okay, and then another example. Let's say this is a bit more tangible. This is like people that you do hang out with quite often. Again, you've got the opportunity to be really honest and straightforward and vulnerable and saying, I'm not really feeling that connection between us anymore. So then you're giving them an opportunity to respond and to share with you and speak on that together. Or you can gradually stop spending time with that person. You get to decide. I think that's the main thing that I'm being called to share right now, is that you get to carve out the pathway of your life and how you feel every day. You are not, I mean, if you live from a place of obligation, then that's your choice, and you will be forever limited. There will be a lid on your joy and your happiness and your magic. That's absolutely your choice. So think about seriously, what am I doing in my relationships that feels like an obligation? Start there, get really clear with that. And then decide how honest you're willing to be. 1, with yourself, and 2, with that other party. There's so much grace and compassion that can come into these conversations. It doesn't have to be a dismissal, like, well, you know, I'm dumping you, get out of my life, whatever. It doesn't have to be like that. When there's so much love available and so much compassion, really you're showing compassion to yourself and to that other person. If there's not a genuine connection there anymore, you're not on the same page anymore, they're going to feel it too. You're not making it up. So think about what's in alignment for you. Think about what's possible in your life when you live in that place. Are your relationships and your friendships really serving that so that you can serve the world and you can serve your soul's voice? And what are you willing to do about it? It's all available. It's also so tremendously possible. And you're not the only one. We're all in it together. We're absolutely in it together. If this is something you're going through right now and you want to jam about it, like, let me know. I'm so excited to talk with people about this realignment, these decisions that we're making to get very tuned in with our inner wisdom and to live from that space. There's so many people around me that's what they're doing. That's the space they're living from. And I feel so encouraged. And it's like so much easier to be brave because I know that. So connect with me. And if this video lands for you, share it. If there's a person in your life that you know is struggling with this particular topic, share it with them. It's a journey that we're on together, and it's so much more fun growing and stretching when it's in community, which is exactly what friendships that are in alignment are all about. So the sun's starting to really beam down on me today on this beautiful day, and I'm going to wrap it there. I love you so very much. Mwah.